The 4th of November 2026 in South Africa marks the local government elections. And I'm older than I was now. I'm more informed than I was now. And I feel it's a deep responsibility for myself to educate people around politics, governance systems, and elections, as it were. South Africans are incredibly politically invested and interested and fascinated. Our politicians are celebrities. Julius Malema, Jacob Zuma, Cyril Ramaphosa, Fikile Mbalula, they trend. Books are written about them, documentaries. When they rock up in a place, people start screaming. We're politically invested and interested, but we are so highly politically illiterate, politically uneducated. South Africans will tell you about apartheid and Mandela, the ANC, point of order, honorable member. We don't actually understand politics. And politics is governance systems. If you go to the etymology of the word politics, it has to, I think it's Greek, politikos or something like that. It has to do with governing the affairs of the city. Governing the affairs of the city. It's not parliament. It's not a mayor. It's not a president. It's not an official. It's not treasury. It's not the that's not what politics is. Politics is the governance of a city or an area. Governance is what happens in your home. It's the person who decides what time the kids wake up, what food you guys will eat, if you guys are gaining weight and need to go and exercise, which school the kids are going to, which wife, which woman you want to be with, which sport you want your kids to play, whether your kids say please and thank you, whether you yourself are taking care of yourself, the clothes that you wear, the church or religion you are linked and aligned to. That is governance. But people don't understand governance because the political systems we have in South Africa are not the only governance systems. You can have a monarch. Eswatini here next door. The United Kingdom is a monarch. King Charles. That's a governance system. The Vatican, the smallest country in the world, is governed by religious structures. In the Middle East, they are governed by Sharia law, Islamic law, the Quran. They have sheikhs, they have kings, what we know as kings, but they have supreme spiritual leaders who are like, as long as you guys abide by the Quran and Sharia law, we're good to go. What we have, the constitution and suits and honorable member, we don't need to have that. But it's because people are politically illiterate that they don't understand what that means. The 4th of November has to do with local government. Local government. Local government is your village, it is your township, it is your town, it is your city. Full stop. Full stop. Done. The province, the country is not local government. We're not voting for that on the 4th of November. But you'd swear the way politicians are speaking, the way people are making noise, NCC or Ikombisa or Ramaphosa, and you're like, yeah, let GNU, Government of National Unity. National, not local. It's not the GLU. It's not the Government of Local Unity. In 2024, we voted for national and provincial structures. National being your members of parliament who then vote for the president. People don't even know that. You don't vote for a president. We don't get to vote for a president in this country. Which we could. They do it in America. Democracy as well. Again, governance structures. If people knew we could vote for a president, but we vote for members of parliament through political parties. And even now, we don't really have independence. We should have independence properly. Then we voted for the provincial structures. Parties and independents there as well, who get to sit at the provincial legislature and then they vote in a premier for your province. We're not voting for that in 2026. We'll be voting for that in 2029. In 2026, we were voting for your neighborhood, what's known as a ward, which most of you don't know your ward number, you don't know your ward councillor. I'm going to put in the description there a number that you can SMS, a website you can go to check what ward you're in, because you don't know. But you make lots of noise about the minister, and did you see parliament, and EFF. You don't know your own ward and your own ward councillor is how politically ignorant You are. We're voting for a ward councillor. It should be called a community leader. I think it would stick better in people's minds because they give us these terms that we don't really understand. The director general, DG, the acting DG of, what the hell is the MMC and an MEC? What are those things? Community leader or neighborhood leader. This is our neighborhood leader that we're voting for. That's one of the ballots you will be voting for. Independents, political parties. There shouldn't even be political parties for community leader. Why? We just need someone in our neighborhood to make sure there are no potholes, to make sure when electricity switches off, they speak to municipality to find out what's going on. When we're having water issues, they can maybe bring in the water tanks and solve things. That person needs to be the most important person in the political structure of your life. When there's crime in your neighborhood, you should go to your ward councillor, your community leader, and say, Chief, what's going on here? And they must say, we'll speak to the police. We'll set up neighborhood watch. We need maybe see if we can build a gated community here. There are certain people who are living in this neighborhood who are selling drugs. We need to get rid of them. That's our community leader. It's such an important ballot that people don't vote for. They don't care about. You guys don't even join WhatsApp groups for your community. Some of you don't even have community WhatsApp groups. But you think you're going to solve certain problems and you're not. That's the one ballot. The other ballot is for your municipal leaders. Village, township, town, city. You're voting for members of council in the municipality. Imagine that your city or your town is the country. And what we call parliament, honorable member, point of order, there's a place where the people of your city sit, just like that, where they call each other out, point of order, what, right there. You are voting for that mini government to sit there, local government. And those members of the council get to vote for a mayor. The mayor then becomes your president, your king. So that if you have issues in your town, you're like, say, community leader, what's going on? I've escalated, we're struggling. We're going to go strike at the mayor. It's say, Baba, say, Mama. In this city here, there are illegal people that shouldn't be here. There's drugs. The businesses are owned by people from out of town. Some of the tenders have been given to people we don't know from a bar of soap. We've got gang potholes. We live in the same South Africa. Same. But when I go to Palito in Durban, when I go to Sandton, Bryanston in Johannesburg, when I go to Clifton, to Camps Bay in Cape Town, when I go to places like Summerstrand, Gqeberha, Beacon Bay in Monti, Gukompo, I'm like, yeah, Baba, in South Africa, what's going on here? And it's like, there's rich people that live here. It's a poor excuse. It's a poor excuse. I visited a controversial neighborhood, called Orania, an Afrikaner town. It's private land. It's a farm. It's a farm that has been subdivided into properties. Not rich Afrikaans people, poor Afrikaans people that wake up every day and they sweep the streets, that build their own homes with their hands, that have built a school where their kids study in a language of their choice, where they got rid of the municipality and they've got their own municipality that works for them. They've got their own healthcare facilities, their own police services that sometimes neighboring towns ask for help from. They understand the power of governance and politics. And they do for themselves. What Stephen Bantu Biko and the Black Consciousness Movement was about, do for yourself. Huey P. Newton in America and the Black Panthers program, do for yourself. Do for self. But before you do for self, you've got this local government. In Johannesburg, our local government has been fucking the citizens so much that they don't give a fuck who they put there as mayor. As long as it serves their agendas, who gets the tenders and the what. There was a time when we had 2 back-to-back mayors from Al Jama'ah, a political party, that had 1% of the votes. 1% of the votes. Because the ANC and the DA, I think with the EFF, were not really agreeing on each other. Neither of them were agreeing to the other one's mayor. So they were like, let's find someone there who we can just put as a head, just to say we've got a mayor. But they'll do whatever we tell them. And whenever they're annoyed, they remove. That's disrespecting your city, your town. But you guys don't know this. You don't understand it. You're so obsessed with national politics. National politics. You are EFF. But you live in a leafy suburb in Fourways. There's no EFF there, Chief. That's probably DA Action SA. Chances, the probabilities are. I'm not saying you must support the Action SA. I'm not. You can support the EFF. But I'm trying to ask you, who is your EFF candidate there and what work are they doing? Because you're screaming EFF, but the people who are running your ward where you might have potholes are not your people. And you're not holding them to account. And your people, EFF, MKP, IFP, PA, ACDP, ATM, whatever it is, Good Party, Bossa, Rise Mzansi, what are they doing there? You can speak to your national structures, your provincial, to say, we need to know who are the local guys here. So we can meet up with them and say, Chief, I know like the DA runs this place, but I need you to be visible. So that we can say, no, but look, here's an ATM guy who's doing amazing work. Dr. Nasipi Moya is doing phenomenal work at Tshwane. Action SA doesn't own Tshwane, but because of coalition politics is something people also don't understand. No one gets 51%. So kumele hlanganiswe so that when they get to local government, they vote for a leader. And Action SA ended up getting the mayor there. She's been on the ground. She's shutting down people who are not paying for power, government departments, big businesses. She's closing places where illegal people are not meant to be there. She's closing prostitution places. That's what you are meant to see. Not from Unasipi. You don't live in Tshwane. From your community leader who in your WhatsApp group is sending voice notes and videos. Guys, I just came to this place where there's a broken pipe. I'm just letting you guys know this is what's going on. If anyone understands, please come and assist. Then you'll give us updates. That's government. That's governance. That's politics, which you guys don't understand. Because the politicians, of course, put in a lot of work making so much noise. Ama rally, ama campaign, imchakatulo, niyajiva, niyaprotesta, dubulibunu, woman day, whatever distraction to numb your mind from political consciousness. As long as you're singing and in the vibe, in the noise, even white people, so conservative and so invested and obsessed with, we crave the olden days where white people could. So obsessed with pointing fingers at, but the INC, Kyk Farella, the EFF and Malema. You're so obsessed with distraction that you're not seeing that your own white political leaders are not serving you. That's why you're not getting tenders in your own city of Centurion. That's why you're not getting jobs, because your own leaders, your Freedom Front Plus, your DA, your white leaders, they're not telling you the real things to be like, guys, this is what's going on. They're just getting you buzzing with noise. People need to get politically literate. I wish I could get a budget here, IEC. They've got billions for elections, billions of rands. They have posters, they pay for ads on the radio, on TV, on print. Maybe there's some podcasters I don't know who are brand friendly and who say the right things. And Abo Penwell about controversial. I apologize. You can call me controversial, but I'm a South African citizen. I have an ID. I vote. I pay taxes. I'm active. I want to educate the people. And if you're not going to give me budgets, okay, I'll raise my own money. I'll ask my viewers to be like, guys, please donate to my channel so I can educate more people. Please donate to my channel so that I can travel around the country wherever you think people don't understand. Limpopo and the Eastern Cape, the two poorest provinces that by far vote for the ANC, like 70%. The same ANC always implicated at every commission. The Zondo Commission, the Madlanga Commission, kudliwa imali. Cutting edge, it's become a running joke and it's tragic. Eastern Cape, problems, looting. Because the other political parties are not visible in deep rural parts of the Eastern Cape and Limpopo. So it's like, send that loud boy, Penwell, send him there to go and speak to the people to say, guys, I need you to become politically literate. You don't need to vote ANC. You don't need to vote DA, Action, IFP. You don't need to vote. You can be an independent. You guys need to look at your community leaders and see who's doing work and say, we're going to vote for this guy. Which party is he a member? Is not a member of any party. He, she is standing on their own and they do good work. And we want all the budget to go to them. Your ward councillors, your community leaders that I spoke about, they earn 300 to 600,000 rand a year. 300 to 600,000 rand a year to be invisible and useless. They get a cell phone allowance, a car allowance. Kumnandi nje fethu. But isipana basishayi. When you complain about potholes, they're like, oh, but you can see the ANC. No, but this is not national. This is not a provincial road, Susan. This is our local road. Please tell us what's going on. And if the issue is somewhere there at municipal level, tell us who the problems are so that we can hold them to account. There's an MMC there that's a problem. MMC of roads. Tell us who that is. If it's Kenny Gunen in Joburg, let us go speak to him. And be like, Kenny, our neighborhood, the budget is with you, chief. Yeah, but the thing is the ANC. No. We're not speaking about the GNU and national government. Yeah, Panyaza Lesu. We're not speaking about the province. We're speaking about you. Our neighborhood. The budget there, tell us. Because if you're not, then that means we then need to start looking into the remedies. Can we withhold our tax? And say we're going to boycott. We're not going to be in the streets making noise, sweating in the sun. We have jobs, we have businesses. We don't have the luxury of being unemployed and screaming all day for vibes. So we're going to hit you where it hurts. We're going to withhold our tax. We're going to make a huge amount of noise. We're going to put a huge billboard with your face, whoever you may be that's responsible, here to say, here's the problem. We demand accountability on why there's crime here, why there are shacks popping up there where they shouldn't be, and why you're not doing your job. But because people don't understand local government, we're going to have a situation, by and large, come November, people won't know what they're voting for. Some people won't even vote. And the people that are meant to be putting their hand up to be seen are like, no, I don't want to join any party. You don't have to join a party. You can be independent. You don't need to have a lot of money. Local government is actually where you're meant to build your brand. I'm an independent on my own. I'm going to go to door in my neighborhood because it's not that big anyways. Door to door in my neighborhood. Hi, sanibonani Kamala Mupenweli wakamlotshwa ngihlala ngale emadadeni section 4. Angazi noma nyangazi ubaba wami unezinja udlala ibhola ucoach ibhola. Ngicela ukuzosho ukuthi any problems that you guys have, this is my phone number. Maybe if you can get a bit of budget, print out a little black and white flyer. Na number amaningi angicela ningitshele. Yes, angiphethe la ngisumholi wala, but I want to be a voice. Ngifuna ukuniphatha ukuthi maninkinga sambe siyobona inkinga ikuphi sithola abafana sithola osisi abazohlangana. Whenever there's a funeral, whenever there's a wedding, ngicela ningimeme. I want to be visible there. I want you guys to see me so that you can vote for me. And once I'm running your community, hold me to account with Shai Once in Shai I'm like, guys, I want to go up. I want to be mayor of this entire town or city as an independent. And once I become a sizzling mayor, I'm like, depending on my capacity, maybe I'm best suited here in Stellenbosch, but maybe I can do more, or I can send people and say, guys, we're going to provincial level now because a lot of our money and decisions are getting stuck there. We shouldn't have provincial structures in South Africa. They are waste. They replicate work that they shouldn't be doing. You drive past the street lights, it's down. The next street light is up and it's working. You go to your ward councillor, you go to your mayor, the street lights, they're like, ish. Unfortunately, that's a provincial road, a province. But the other street light works, yes. That's a local municipal, that's why we fixed it. Why is the province not? No, we're waiting for the MEC. You're like, no, man, this doesn't make sense. This hospital here is in our neighborhood, but we're being told, no, it's a provincial issue. No, it's a big hospital, therefore it's a national. So you can't help us. No, I can't help, Chief. You know, the structures and the channels. And you're like, okay, all right. Those of us who know must teach. It should be a crime to have knowledge that impacts people's real lives and to not share it. Gogo, this is where you can go to receive a grant. Mama, for your child, we can see you're unemployed or you're not earning much. We can help you to fill in an application form so you can earn a child grant. We've got engineers, we've got accountants, we've got kids with honors, masters, PhDs. They speak well. Some of them have podcasts. Some of them have done interviews. Some of them have traveled the world. They've been invited to the World Economic Forum and to sit at the UN. They speak so well. But they can't go to like the local clinic and be like, we see the average waiting time here is 3 to 4 hours. We don't have money and big budget. We're going to use WhatsApp. We're going to put together money, buy a cell phone. We're going to get a kid who's sitting at home. We're going to give them 500 Rand a month to book appointments on WhatsApp. And certain things that can be resolved, like someone just needs their chronic meds. These kids are going to call other kids and they're going to walk to the clinic and say, Ukoko sent me this thing. You know who I am. I'm part of the WhatsApp thing. I'm coming to fetch her meds so that she's not sitting in a queue. For businesses in the area to say we want to fundraise and donate to a local fund to say, we know we've got a public clinic. We just want to put together 25,000 Rand. Let's call it 30,000 Rand. 30,000 Rand. 20,000 for a doctor, intern, 10,000 Rand for a nurse. So that we can just, work through the queues. But capitalism has you obsessed with medical aid and what. We've got some beautiful clinics, public clinics and hospitals in this country. But the politicians have got share portfolios that are invested in your discoveries, in your Mediclinics and these other private healthcare businesses, your Aspen, which I think they fund some of the politicians. They have an incentive to destroy public so that people can go into private. Every single politician serving should be forced, them and their family, to use public facilities so that they have an incentive to fix where they're serving. Every teacher at a public school should not be allowed to send their child to a private school. If anything, their child should be forced to go to the school they're at so that they can be like, hey, my child can't be in such a crap school. Let me try and do better. Yes, there'll be favoritism because your mom is a teacher or your dad is the principal. But there's a vested interest to try and do better because it affects your life personally. But ufundise lokshini, othisha badakiwe, your child goes to a St. Banban, you're like, aye, that's cool, aye. Phela silinde department and they're busy chilling in the sun, they badla amagwinya ne-atsha. Because your child is at a St. Banban where everything's working fine, they're being taught by white people. We saw this during COVID lockdown. Black township parents were not going to work. They were not going to school. They were not setting up WhatsApp channels. But they were complaining that, my child's private school, Ekuro, they on WhatsApp, there's also live. We need to make sure that so something's being done there. You can see it as a teacher yourself. But in the Lokshan school where you are teaching, because no one's holding you to account, you don't give a fuck because it's not your child. No, man. When we speak about true leadership, we speak about saying the uncomfortable things that are honest, but that will make life better. Black people in this country, a big chunk of them are their own worst enemy. At some point, I won't vote for him again because he's really disappointed me. But Gayton McKenzie, the leader of the Patriotic Alliance, said something very powerful. Apartheid has got an expiration date. Complaining has got an expiration date. In 2026, in the same country where black people were oppressed over 30 years ago by the National Party and the apartheid government, in 2026, there are black billionaires. They are black rand billionaires. There are black people who are multimillionaires, male and female. There are black people that own triple stories. There are black people that travel the world, that have been to Dubai. There are black people that wear Versace and Gucci. There are black people that drive Porsches and Ferraris. There are black people that own their own schools, their own shopping centers, that are rich. Why are they not blaming apartheid and what? What is the difference between them, outside of corruption, right place, right time, and the person living in a shack? So someone's using this thing as an excuse, and you're like, but why are they rich? But we all experienced apartheid. The same question that I want to pose to white people. You guys keep blaming BEE and corruption, but Discovery is making killer profits. Johan Rupert's Mediclinic is doing very well. Aspen got the tender, a monopoly, in fact, for ARVs initially. Later on, other guys came in. Same with the COVID vax. They initially got the monopoly, and then it was broken up at some point. There are white people that live in fancy homes who are super rich. Their kids go to Hilton and Michael House and Bishops. You're like, but isn't BEE affecting them? What about affirmative action? Why are these white people rich? Someone's lying to you. You guys are failing yourselves. You guys need to take personal accountability and try and solve your own problems. And it requires political education and political consciousness. And where you don't know, ask the people in the know to educate you. Ask me. Drop me a DM on social media. Pen, we're struggling with this thing. What is the difference between an MMC and an MEC? What is the difference between a mayor and a premier? What's a premier? Why are there deputy ministers in cabinet? Why do we have a minister, a deputy minister, and a director general? And maybe a deputy director general? What is a member of parliament meant to be doing? Why are there ad hoc committees? What is that? Why is there this thing? Why is there that person? So we can learn together. And once we learn together, we can start holding people to account and we can build the type of government we want. And if they block us using the soldiers and the police and fake constitutions and laws to block us, then we ask for a revolution. We withhold our taxes. We block the roads. We go overseas. We use the internet and podcasts, and we tell the whole world our government is bullying us. We go overseas like the ANC and other leaders went in exile, and we say there's something wrong going on back home. We've got a scam of a democracy, and our politicians are abusing us. They are not keeping to the rule of law. You've got Zimbabweans coming into South Africa en masse. When you ask them what's the problem, they're like ZANU-PF and Mnangagwa. I'm like, but you're here and you're quiet. Hey, Vich, you know ZANU-PF. Be vocal. Be part of the change. There are so many of you. You're scared of a handful of people, but you want to govern yourselves? No, man. That's not how it works. You guys must revolt if you're being oppressed. Now you're moving from your home that you love dearly, the home of your ancestors, because of certain people. Do something about it. There are many wealthy Zimbabweans around the world who can put money together, maybe build an army and overthrow the government. Strive Masiyiwa is a $1 billionaire from Zimbabwe. So, don't be your own worst enemy. Let's think carefully about the elections that are coming up. I wish I could say that if you're not politically literate, don't vote. Pen, I don't know who to vote for. I don't understand. I wish I could tell you, don't vote. Please, because your vote is going to become dangerous because it's fueled by ignorance. Don't vote, please. Go learn first. For the people that are in the know, you definitely have to vote. And you probably will vote. But vote responsibly. It's not about you and the job you have and the tenders you get and the political party of your ancestors. No, bro. We're trying to build a better country for everyone. Everyone who's a law-abiding, good, hardworking citizen. So go vote, but part of your responsibility is go and teach people what the elections that are coming in November are about. They're not about national and provincial structures. They're about our local government, your neighborhood, your ward, and then your town, township, your village, your city. Only. Let's do better. We can all do better. And if we feel this democracy doesn't work and we want a king, or we want a queen, or we want business people to rule us, then let's make it so. It's possible. And let's build more civil organizations like AfriForum, where people are pulling funds to hold government to account to solve some of the problems that we're trying to solve. Why is Discovery closing our potholes? Why is Discovery closing potholes? Why is Outsurance controlling traffic? We appreciate it, 100%. But I smell a rat. I smell a rat. That money that is paying those people doing that work is money that could be redirected to either the state or local community people that can do the work for themselves. Something's not right. Let's get politically literate. Let's get politically active. Let's be part of the governance that will make our communities, our neighborhoods, our towns, our cities, our countries a much better place for ourselves and for our future generations. Penuel the Black Pen.